Critical for Yale.
There's Rodriguez taking on Jack Cascadden, top 10 in the country in face-off percentage. So these two are going to battle all afternoon long. We are underway in the 2025 Ivy League Men's Lacrosse Tournament. Cascadden quickly with possession. Cornell can strike early. Curse with the shot, and immediately Paquette gets involved.
Sets and body types. You got righties and lefties. The puzzle pieces fit perfectly.
And they move C.J. Kirst around so much. You watch him today. He attacks from the top midfield zone, where typically a midfield dodger would initiate. He'll go from goal line. Offense, they have the top shooting percentage of all teams nationally. The best assisted team, so they're spreading the ball out. This is a juggernaut.
And Cascadden has won all 3 face-offs to start this game.
Think about the book on a second midfield. Okay, let's be slow to slide to second midfielders, right? We got to stay on goal.
Talk to Connor Busick, their head coach. He said Michael Long is the brains of the operation. That is a high IQ type play from a crease player in that spot to dish it to the top scorer in the game.
That time it was Nick Wehmeyer. Wins the first face-off of the day for Yale. In a flash, they are down 3 goals here early.
Area leads to the step down.
And what I like about Carson Kuhl's step down in that spot, he knew that was the place for him to get his feet set. He didn't go too far down and lose his angle. He trusts his instincts, and he was patient with
sports.
I like Virginia's lacrosse band
out there.
The brass section in the Virginia band is
tremendous.
Elite.
Michael Melkonian to take the draw for Cornell after the face-off violation on the last attempt. Look at that. Wehmeyer, who's actually done a really good job here in the last 3 draws since taking over for Rodriguez, gets another one.
Freshman playing with urgency, understanding that every possession is huge. This is Yale's season. Let's not, there's no tomorrow.
They have one path.
There is no tomorrow.
The only path they have is to win this tournament. The other 3 teams in this tournament, they're safe.
One face-off man isn't working, you go to another to see if the matchup favors one over the other, and this is clearly the case with Yale. Wehmeyer, I'm not going to say he's had his way with Cascadden, but it certainly has been a much more even battle.
Machado Rodriguez has been banged up from last year to this season, and for this kid to come in and...
Oh, here's a dangerous situation, though, and they pay for it with Goldstein.
That's the impact of C.J. Kirst. That's another caused turnover. 53, I think, now for his career. Second on the team this season. Watch him deflect this pass. Wehmeyer's doing a great job, but he's a freshman.
King in caused turnovers. It's the complete attack player. Your greatest lacrosse players at the attack position have to be incredible riders.
Chachi's back in there for Yale.
That should be a push. That should be a push on Cornell.
No call. Yale picks up possession anyways. Q, you said in the open, they had to get great goaltending play from Paquette. They've gotten some today early, and they're going to have to do a great job at the face-off, Todd, and they've
going 22, 23, 24, 25. He's played with C.J. Kirst for 4 straight years. They're high school teammates. The quick restart is right up his alley.
Now we're going to get that push in the back. It's going to go back to Yale. They've won 6 face-offs in a row now.
They win these face-offs, but the most frightening thing is, item no.
Tough for goalies when the player's running full speed, a high release point to a low location on the move.
Wehmeyer again.
I mean, those 2 Krevsky goals, Cotter, are why he's being mentioned on the Tuesday PLL draft. There's some talent there.
Two-way guy.
There's some talent there.
But it's more of a two-way guy. Coming into the game, he only has 9 goals. Scorer. We talked to him down on the field before the game. You felt like he was super relaxed and calm, right? He was not going to be rattled in this spot, knowing that the season's on the line tonight.
Finally, that run of face-off wins by Yale has been broken.
I think he was more stressed about the bioethics final. He's got eligibility. And that split, Cotter, he cleared the defender. There was not even any contact. Zero.
A lot like the Gretzky goal that you broke down. They're allowing longer dodges, right? When you give a guy like Gretzky or Sharp all that room, they're at full speed while the defender is on his heels.
Here comes Stuzen, former LSM, all-Ivy LSM, now a close defense. He knows how to punt return clear, gets it to an offensive player, and again possession on the well-tuned, as has this Yale Bulldogs offense coming out of the break with 2 quick goals. Oh, and the sudden, just a 1-goal game. Taking on the #1 team in the country, the Cornell Big Red. Just one blemish on their record. That's an overtime loss to Penn State.
Cascadden, who just won that face-off, 20 and white, he's a beast. Missed all of, or most of last season with ACL repair. To come back, to be facing off at 61%, 9 goals, as Goldstein has similar traits to his dad in terms of the way that he can spot feet, dissect the defense. He's such a tremendous lacrosse player. A lot quicker than his dad, man. He is out of a rocket ship, too.
Shoots that tough angle shot off the shin of his teammate Kirst. It'll stay with Cornell.
Round shot. Cash in, cashes in.
How long have we been waiting for that one? Brutal. Thorne, our soap opera star over here.
Got the longer hair. He's looking very handsome these days. He's confident.
He's witty, charming. Big loose ball here in the middle.
These teams are flying around, playing with great emotion. Both benches. Hidden ball.
With his brain and his IQ, and that's what he did on that spot.
I thought it's interesting, you guys, when we get this assignment to watch Cornell's games, and like, you can't paint CJ into a corner as being, his skill set is so varied. You see different things every week.
He's got 2 goals and 3 assists already in this game, and he's been quiet. That's the crazy thing.
Dodger from the high wing, Dodger from X, rider, cutter.
Well, they've
for his head to turn. He knows it's going to happen.
That is as simple as it gets. That's a 2-man play. Michael Long now, 1 goal, 3 assists.
Cascadden's heating up. He'll shoot it. Paquette with the save. Long with 3 assists on the day. Again, Cornell riding their butts off. Loose ball in the middle of the field. Picked up out of the... Just moments ago, Yale had gotten this down to a 1-goal game, and that's how quickly Cornell can strike and add to their advantage. It's a 4-0 run for Big Red.
Cascadden's found the secret potion here, right?
Yep.
It's been really good since the break.
Melkonian has won one as well in that mix.
Cascadden likes to go out the front, clearly. He likes that.
Field. So it's 2 things that happen right there. It gives you the explosiveness to get away from your defender, but also increases your angle, and then you're staring at Paquette.
Wehmeyer won a big face-off. Yale's got to get their...
Hand's going to be one of the quarterbacks of this team.
Wehmeyer's in all kinds of trouble as he gets dumped by Cascadden. That isn't the first person Cascadden has tackled. Legal hit, though. And he gets Cornell the ball back.
After him.
This time, Chachi was able to get that draw, get the better of Cascadden. So we're seeing a little bit of Rodriguez and Wehmeyer for Yale. Kai.
This is a face-off battle. 11-11. $1:35 left in the second quarter. Cascadden, obviously the upper hand coming in statistically, but the 1-2 punch of Yale's fighting.
Yeah, and it's been a bunch of runs where one guy or one group will win 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, and then the next one will.
Long's out of the box there early.
Procedure call. It's going to be a turnover.
Cotter, and you mentioned that, you know, because we were watching the Big Ten semis the other night.
The season by far with a hat trick.
Came in scoring just 9 goals on the year. And this has been a battle. Wehmeyer and Cascadden. Picked up by Cornell.
Five straight Yale goals. This team won't go away.
The common denominator of all the poor approaches defensively for Cornell, how much space they're giving the Dodgers.
Cascadden will shoot, can't get it off though. Outstanding trail check by
That first one, but it's just in their DNA to find the extra pass, and 90% of the time, the extra pass is the right pass.
Rodriguez. Lions couldn't handle the pass. That's a bad turnover.
The defense is going to support with everything they have. So just get them to get them in. Think that you're dodging when you're not.
Now Cornell on a little bit of a run of their own. They've scored 2 in a row. Win possession on this face-off.
Cornell plays a halftime in the third quarter. It was the same old defense. So he goes to zone, knowing that he's having trouble today matching Yale in their offense from a dodging perspective. So you go in zone to slow things down, but Yale's moving the ball at hyperspeed that last possession. Have no clue that he isn't a left-handed player.
Cascadden, smart play to goose it back to Davis.
Since I'm not playing great half-field defense, if I'm Connor Busick, I'm saying, let's get into a track meet against these guys. Let's push the ball as much as possible. We don't have to play 6-on-6. Let's take chances.
Turn up the ride.
Yeah, turn up the ride, turn up the transition. Let's make these guys tap out. They don't have the depth that we have.
The nation's leading goal scorer, C.J. Kirst, came into the game with...
It is a beautiful night.
It is. Let's hope it stays that way.
We had 2 major lightning delays.
Right.
But in between, too, we've had some
great lacrosse.
Picturesque.
And we have another game to go. We still have Harvard and Princeton.
Not even halfway home.
Right. After this one.
In that game, we'll have a ton of offense.
Yes.
A ton of offense, just like this one will. And Yale's not going away. I mean, for the whole defense converges on that inside guy, thinking we have to stop this guy as the shooter, but they pass it to the backside in that low pipe.
Cascadden wins another one.
Syracuse is the other team that utilizes that set quite a bit when they put Owen Hiltz inside, or sometimes even Joey Spallina becomes the interior player.
That happens when you have a next-level slick offense. Syracuse has it, Princeton has it.
He plays inside. It's almost like playing with 4 attackmen.
Albany has done that in the past with Scott Marr. He's always had what he calls a 4-man, where that midfielder is like an extra attackman, and tackling those quads.
5 different players now with 2 goals.
I think there might have been a slash, too.
Yale's
Yeah,
off,
3, and
Yale's
that's
offsides.
Pisano was guilty of a slash.
Yale's offsides there, and the officials.
In terms of transfers, if he has that extra year or if he's going to delay his graduation at Yale. You know, going back to what you were saying, too, with expansion, no expansion, when we're stuck at 74 teams,